Yeah, I was gonna say, so then, because what I was trying to allude to with like Callie's situation, she was saying that she doesn't have time. And with these types of careers, you also have the issue of time, right? So it's kind of like that's why it's like you can't really say, "Oh, I could try to do my career and, try to have a marriage at the same time," because you need the time. So that's kind of what I was trying to get to is how would we put that together in that case?
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: two serious people that are adamant on making it work, make it work. Two serious people who are adamant on making a marriage work makes it work. Whether there's distance involved, whether there's traveling, whether there's issues with kids, whether there's issues with death in the family, people who are adamant on making it work and they're constantly saying, yes, I do every single day, every single hour of the day, they get through those issues. But if you fly by the night, you put up roadblocks, you're trying to safeguard yourself from shit, you're
Mm.
gonna run into these problems because that's the reality of it. When you're preparing for something out of fear and out of hurt and out of pain, oftentimes what you're gonna get is painful, fearful results.
Okay. And so in Callie's situation, then when she says she doesn't have time, you guys are saying that she should try to make time,
I'm
basically,
not.
even though she knows she
No,
doesn't.
what we were saying to Callie was, if you're gonna sit here and say that this is what you value and you want this,
Mm.
we're telling you you're putting the cart before the horse. If you're saying this, but if you admit that, and if you're gonna put the cart before the horse, tell us. I'm telling you, damn the horse, I'm riding out in this cart. That changes the conversation where we got to tell you, well, I know that that's what you want to do, but here's the reality for you. That can get extremely difficult going down the line. If you're going to go this route, it's an extremely hard path to travel. And we've seen many women who've traveled that same path as you that we spoke to ad nauseum on several panels, and they've all experienced it. They all put the cart before the horse and said, "Damn marriage, I'm gonna do this. I want to get married one day, but I want to focus on my career. I want to do this. I want to do that, and then I can make marriage a priority." Oftentimes, the people who come back and tell the stories of the ones that did do that are still having issues when it comes to relationship and marriage. That don't mean that they're miserable or that they hate their lives, but that when they explain how dating is for them and how marriage is for them, they often come and say that, man, it's been extremely difficult for me to find relationship in this later time in my life. And you know what I mean? And they say, and we have to tell them the truth, like, well, at that period in time, you didn't prioritize marriage. And the best time to get married to someone is in your youth, where you experience everything with that person. That person experiences your youth, your middle age, your old age. They're more likely to appreciate your old ass when they experience your young you. When you go through life with somebody, it becomes a little bit more understanding. It becomes a little bit easier. But if you prioritize everything else, if you try to put everything in a checkbox, you would never be ready for what you're saying you're trying to wait for. And I learned that the hard way myself. Me and my wife could have been married a long time ago, but we kept saying, well, wait until we graduate college. Well, wait until we do this. Well, wait until that we do that. Now, granted, we still understood we wanted to do it with each other, so we were still together. But we kept putting the roadblock up there, and it didn't even have to be there. Everything we did outside of our marriage, we could have done well within our marriage, and it would have got the same result, if not a better result. We'd have probably been further along now than we are than we would have been had we actually did what we were supposed to do then, got married, got on the train, figured it all out, then pushing it off the entire time.
So your solution for Callie is basically to just make time. That's pretty much how you would handle a situation where she
But,
doesn't have
yeah,
it. Just make time.
if you're saying that you want it, make the time. Oh, be open and then make the time for it. But you can't close yourself off from it and then say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna open this door later, and then something's gonna come through that I want." The problem that we have with a lot of women is that they close the door completely and say, "I'm gonna close this door in my life, and I'll open that door when I'm done with this." And when you try to do that, it doesn't work a lot of the time. More often than not, it doesn't work. I'm at least telling her, open the door and then make it somewhat make put some effort into that, just as much effort as you putting into everything else in your life. Because I guarantee you, she's not just juggling one. It's not just one thing that she's juggling.
Yeah,
She
she's
make
doing.
time. She make time for all the other shit she want to do. She says, "Oh well, I can juggle being this, and I can juggle being that, and I'm gonna make time for that, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean." People do that all the time for the things that they want. If you want it, then juggle that shit along with it.
Okay, so
Can,
for
can
Make
I
someone
say,
who's
Dory? Can I say
employed,
something right quick to
yeah.
interrupt y'all conversation?
Oh,
Y'all, most of y'all on here know um my heart and how I feel. And damn, I was about to address Guy, but she got off of here. But
oh no.
no, it's cool. I'll say what I gotta say anyway. I've always said to me and my brothers always discuss that as we get older, we don't ever want to get in a place where you get to an age that nobody can tell you anything, right? And because there's been like some pieces of our relationship with our parents where we're like, okay, y'all can bend a little bit more on this and listen to where we're coming from a little bit more on this, or see our side now that we're all like grown adults and married. Hey, Di, okay. So I was saying I was having this conversation with my brothers, like I don't ever want to get to a place where um as I get older and as I age that my children won't be able to give me their perspective and we be able to have an open dialogue and know that at the end of the day that I'm respecting their point of view and their dialogue, um and that they even feel comfortable to have a dialogue with me, right? Because I talk to my parents like literally every single day, multiple times a day. Like that's how close we are because I feel that that's a safe place, right? And so I say that to say that especially you've seen me interact with people on this panel, right? And I really say what I gotta say. I don't really go back and forth with people because I'm just like, okay, I just say like you do what you do, whatever. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to take heed to what I'm saying. Like if it doesn't stick or apply to you, as they say, chew the meat, spit the bones, or whatever. But I have a soft spot for you. I can't explain it. I've seen your heart multiple times. As much as you get combative and you get amped up and you get hyped with everybody, I've seen your heart. I've seen you have a very tender, soft personality under all of that back and forth that you give. And I don't know if you remind me of somebody like a little cousin, sorority sister. I don't know what it is, but I always feel like, okay, no, I'm not backing down from Di because I want her to hear me. And it's only because I care. Because I've told Lapeef many times, like, I'm not doing a panel, like, I'm not, Like, I've had interactions with certain people. I'm like, nope, I can't, I'm not gonna go back and forth with that person because I don't agree with them. I don't align with their thought. And I'm not about to waste my breath. But the only reason tonight I had so much passion in talking to you, and I apologize if you took that passion for me trying to discredit you or talk down to you. I hear you talk about the outcomes you want, and I just can't let it go that either me or some of the things that the guys try to share you, I know for a fact, that I've seen it happen in real life that they're telling the truth. Not just because I just love Trev, Sweeney, and Darwin and Marcus so much. It's just like, oh my God, I love everything they say. No, it's because I can identify and I've seen it play out in real life with real people that I know, whether it may be family members, classmates, co-workers, or just lifelong friends. Like I've seen the stuff that they play out. I'm like, no, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And so when you disagree with it, it's not that I want you to feel discredit. I'm like, no, die. Like they are saying facts. Like it's facts. And if you listen and take heed to it, it can actually help you. But I know you take it as like I'm trying to beat you over the head with to think the way I exactly how I think. I understand we come from two different backgrounds. I understand that you speak for your friends and people that may identify with your way of thinking. I understand that. I'm not trying to discredit you, but it's only about helping and pouring into you a different point of view. And if you say, okay, this is, I just, you know, say, okay, okay, I'll go along with everything else saying. No, you don't have to say that. It's just, okay, consider the extra thought, especially when it's coming from men and you're dating men. That's the only thing. So yes, I came off passionate. I wasn't triggered by the older woman. I'm like, I love being a older woman of wisdom. I've lived a lot, and I feel like God has put in me a lot to share. So I don't mind my age. I don't mind being 40. Like I'm very happy with that. I have a whole life to show my age. Like I've lived 10 lives at 40 compared to some people, right? And I thank God for that. And I just was like, wait, is she trying to address me? Like, just address me. Like, talk to me. You know, you could talk to me. Like, say, Casey, I don't appreciate this, or Casey, you discrediting younger women, or whatever. I just wanted you to say if that's what you wanted to have a conversation with me about, feeling discredited in that conversation, to just say, Casey, I'm talking about you. Yes, you know what I'm saying? I don't get
Yeah,
my feelings hurt easily, dog. Like I
no,
got three brothers, dog. Like I am built for tough. And when I don't talk to people I don't care about and that I don't see a point in talking to. I don't waste my breath. That's not in my personality. And
but I
so
could tell, and that's why I respect it, and that's why I said I don't. What I said the last time I talked to you, I meant it. But you remind me of just the strong black women I've had in my life. And I think at times they don't
what?
realize that sometimes their delivery or choice of words sometimes could be offensive. So that's why when I was trying to tell you what made me feel discredited, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't coming from like an emotional place. I was triggered, but I was able to understand, okay, I'm triggered. This ain't Casey, you know what I'm saying? But I'm triggered. What triggered me? Okay. Although when you probably said, okay, that right, that okay, dad, that's not right. You shouldn't feel like that. To me, the reason why
Mm-hmm.
it triggered me is because it's like you would have to know what I went through in life for me to feel like that. And even though I know that feeling has to change,
Mm-hmm.
the process of changing those feelings is like it doesn't come overnight. The
Mm-hmm.
thought process, it's just so much that that goes behind it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you said that, it definitely triggered me, and that's why I brought that up because it's like when people start off their statement like that, like, "Oh, you shouldn't feel like that." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you tell me how to react? How can you tell my brain how to react? I know that this is something I shouldn't be processing right now, and it's something I'm working on already. That's my point of being vulnerable with y'all. So y'all can
Mm-hmm.
see what causes me to feel like this. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So then at that
well,
point, you can
it's
give
like
me
the shock.
constructive
It's like the
criticism.
shock. I'm sorry, Dad. It's like the shock of something. If a person say, I'm ugly. And a person say, no, you shouldn't feel that way. Like you're gorgeous. Right? Because you're like, no, don't do that. No, that's not for you. You're beautiful. You shouldn't feel that. It's not that they're trying to discredit, they're showing you a different way and a different way of thinking. So that's all. But I
Yeah,
hear you.
it's just when you didn't empathize when we first like, okay, I could see how you feel that way, but you shouldn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you just go straight to you shouldn't feel
Right
that
to it.
way. Yeah, that's just I just analyze that about myself when I'm communicating with people. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to tell Trev, this is how I do with guys when I'm getting myself into situations. Hey, I know I'm emotional. I'm sorry, did I do too much? Okay, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was trying to tell you, hey, I felt discredited. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just by you, Casey. That's why I'm like, it just wasn't by you. That's why I used the term older
Mm-hmm.
women, because there's other women who's mature on this
Mm-hmm.
panel who didn't go through certain things that I went through in life, that when I'm feeling like that, and they like, nah, that's gonna be a problem when it comes to you finding marriage. And it's like, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know this, but I'm just trying to tell y'all why. Because the guys ask, well, why do y'all think like this? Well, if you really don't want my explanation and you just really want to give your answer, just give your answer. But when I give my explanation, it's like, well, you shouldn't do that. And it's like, I know, but you asked me why. So I'm just telling you why. That's how I was feeling. But
Mhm.
I apologize because I know I always want to make sure I do, give you respect. And when you was trying to get through to me and come to a mediating place, I was
Yeah, you was being a hard ass.
yeah, and that's just a different side to me. And that's why I want to tell you, it doesn't mean that I don't care about you or nothing like that. But when I know there's clear miscommunication that could possibly lead to something worse,
Mhm.
I just try to like that's
Yeah,
I haven't learned a more mature way, but for me, that's maturity.
yeah, it
Because
took me by
usually
surprise because you
it's
always
hard.
show respect, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, what's this head rolling, I'm like, "This we don't have me and her don't have this type of interaction on this show. We disagree, but we don't get nasty with one another because I don't that's just not the way me and you we'll disagree all day, but we've never had a point where I felt like you were being like nasty towards me, and so it threw me off, and that's why I was like, oh, okay, hold on, what is
And that's
going
why I'm
on?
apologizing to you because you didn't,
Hmm.
although that was my intentions to make you feel like that, but I don't think it was your intentions to make me feel discredited. And that's why when I tried to communicate first, like I said, it has a lot to do with childhood trauma, things that even me and my mom are still going to therapy for. And it really stems from her.
Hmm.
So that's why when you did it, and she usually, when I was younger, used to speak to me in the way you speak, but without giving context, just the energy. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, I'm triggered. I felt discredited. Like, hold on. Like, I didn't know how to
Yeah.
go from there. I'm just like, let
Yeah,
me just
but
be
yeah, you
quiet.
could say that. You could say that without being like out not beside yourself. Like you can do
Yeah.
that. Like nobody is telling you how to be or say, oh, you got to be in line with what I say. Like, no, I'm not telling you that, and I don't expect that from nobody on this panel. Like I speak for myself, and I'm okay with standing alone. Like I don't need cheerleaders. I don't need nobody. But all I'm saying is like people that I have familiar with on this panel, I'll be okay. Wait, what's going on? We can disagree, but let's not step out of boundaries with each other and try to get each other uh mischaracterized of who we are as individuals, because at the end of the day the camera's got to cut off, right? And we people see this, and this is stamped in history forever. So I try to make sure I stay in who I am and what I represent at all times, because I do that in the world, and YouTube is just an extension of the world. Like this isn't a fairy place to me. I know some people come on here and become actors and all that kind of stuff, but this is just an extension of real life, right? And I have a life. I represent a lot of people, and I do a lot of things. And so, how I deal with you, I want to be respectful. I want you to feel respected, whether you agree with me or not. I want everybody on here to feel respected by me, but I don't want to be disrespected being here either. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I just thought you really didn't care. Like when you was like, after that, when I thought
Oh,
you were trying to hear me. Yeah, I felt like you didn't care. And I'm like, okay, so why should I care about what you feel me? But I could see that's
okay.
not what it was. And I appreciate you taking that step because it means a lot to me. And your kids are gonna have a great mother. I'm just gonna say.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
No, because my mama learning that right now. Like she's learning, like, okay, even if my intent wasn't to offend you, you were offended. So I apologize. And like I said,
Mhm.
I'm apologizing for intentionally offending you. I just try to
Oh
take
no,
it
it's good. I got
or
your
trying
skin,
to get
babe.
under your skin like a little sister, I guess you could say.
No, yeah, it's all good.